Do you know that 40% of Americans cannot cover $400 emergency expense without falling into debt? Are you one of those? Many simply do not understand that if your expenses are greater than your income, you are poor no matter how big your house, your car, your boat are. It does not matter if you wear a $2,000 suit or a pair of jeans and t-shirt to work. If you spend too much, you are in poverty and one day you will be in big trouble. Let's fix this. Many people feel poor or at least do not understand why their bank accounts are always empty. Do you know that even if you earn a $500,000 annual salary, you can be in a worse position than someone that earned $50,000? In fact, that person may be richer than you are. In personal finance, your worst enemy is most likely yourself. Now it is time to correct this situation and to get out of poverty. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and comment this video to be notified every time a new one comes out. Before we start this journey, we need to accept that things have to change and be willing to make efforts. According to the United States Census Bureau survey published in September 14, 2021, there are 11.4% or 37.2 million people living in poverty in 2020. According to those numbers, if you're born poor, it is not your fault, but it will require serious work to get out of this situation. There is a citation apparently from Bill Gates that says, "If you're born poor, it is not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is your mistake." In all fairness, according to QI, quoteinvestor.com, there is no real proof that Bill Gates ever said this. Anyway, I brought this information, statistic and quote, to help you to understand two facts. You do not choose your parents, the place you are born, the environment you are raised in, and other factors. But if you do not take action to change the situation, you will die poor. Okay, with this in place, there's no point to blame the past for this situation. But the future does not need to remain this way. From here, the first step is to understand where we are. The first step to change the situation is to understand our current situation, and the best is to create a budget. Understand that not having a budget is like driving a car in the middle of the darkest night without any lights. You have no idea where you are going, and unfortunately, at some point, you will crash. To figure out our expenses, we have to take two steps. First step, for the next 30 days, we will A. Without changing any of our current habits. We will keep track of all expenses from the smallest to the biggest without forgetting anything. Every time there is money going out of our bank account or our pocket, even if it is 5 cents, we are going to keep track of it. Note, there are plenty of tools available online with or without a subscription. Feel free to use any of them, but quite frankly, an Excel or a Google Sheet is good enough. If you use an online tool, ensure you understand the risk of linking your bank account information to the web. Second step, from the information collected, we will categorize this information like shelter, meaning rent and mortgage. Grocery, meaning corner stores, grocery store, drugstore, etc. Utilities, like electricity, gas and oil, phone bill, etc. Transport, like car payment, gasoline, tickets, parking, plate, driver license, insurance, repairs, etc. Leisure, like sport, restaurants, bar, alcohol, gym, Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, etc. Make this with as much as detail as possible. For a better understanding on this step, watch the video Rat Race Part 7, Start Budgeting in 2020. The next big step is to create our budget. Realize that money is not the problem. It is what we do with it. From our categorize expenses done in the previous section, we will go through every single line items and decide if we need it to survive. Yes, I really said if we need it to survive. Everything that is not needed to survive, we will either eliminate it totally or reduce it drastically. The purpose here is to have our income minus our expenses greater than zero. By income, I mean every single dollars coming in. Example, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly salary, regular gift, tips, royalties, dividends, etc. Keep in mind that we may need multiple iterations of expenses cutting to get to the magic number. For now, the only thing possible is to cut our expenses to the minimum. We will look at increasing our income later on in a future video. Now, we have a clear picture of where we stand financially, and we probably see for the first time why we are poor. It does not really matter if it is a nice picture or a terrible one. What matters is that we're now in position to have a serious impact on our finance. Here is the last step before the bonus section. Now that we have a clear picture and we know what needs to be cut to balance our budget, we will put the budget into practice for the next 3 to 6 months. The reason we are doing this is to allow us to do some adjustments. For example, you may realize that cutting 5 bags of chips per week from your budget was a good idea on paper, but unless you have some during the week, you get crazy. From this, you may want to add a bag per week and cut something else. Understand that a budget is good only if we can keep it, but in the same time, it is necessary to get out of this poverty trap. To learn more, watch the bonus section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment this video to be notified every time a new one comes out. First, I want to point out that longer you are in poverty, the harder it will be to get out of it. Every time you find this too hard to do, remember where you are coming from and what is your goal. In fact, what is our goal? Many people want to be rich, but being rich is not the solution. How many rich people end up bankrupt, committing suicide, or falling hard into drugs? How many of them are drowning under debts because they can't manage their expenses? No, we do not want to be rich, but we want to be wealthy. In many cases, someone with a $50,000 annual salary is wealthier than someone making a $500,000 salary. I promise you, as those steps change my life, I am sure they can change your life also, but it requires effort and perseverance. I put a link in the description to an Excel file that I used. Feel free to copy and use it for your own purpose. It is not an easy journey, but it is one that we must take to change this poverty situation. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment this video to be notified every time a new one comes out. I hope you understand the situation we are in today. We need to protect ourselves. So, watch the next video to know more about what to do with our currency. Also, am I missing something? Do you disagree with me? Or there other topics you would like me to cover? If so, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Therefore, act now or dream on. See you next time. Okay, bye.